Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. We have a limited amount of time. Time is our most precious commodity, and as we get older, get busier, have more responsibilities, increased expectations, it makes it challenging to give our best given the limited amount of time we have. So let's talk about getting better with age. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, the power of possibility, passion, and purpose. And today is a really special day. Today, as of this recording, it's my 14th year anniversary of the Power Blast podcast. April 14, 2007 is when we launched. It's so awesome. So many incredible interviews and sharing so many stories and so many tips and strategies. I had no idea how long this would actually go and sustain, but there's always something coming along that can help us all become better, more aware, in tune. Different things come about, seasons of life, right? So wanted to give a shout out to that. And I want to give a shout out to you. If you're catching this podcast in your podcast app, I thank you so much for tuning in, whatever it is, and be sure to leave an honest rating and review. It helps others discover this show. If you're catching the video version on YouTube, thank you. That has been a really fun time. From the very, very beginning, this has been a video podcast. So I'm actually just kind of posing right now with a little overlay of a screenshot from the very first episode. But anyway, be sure to hit the subscribe button and smash that notifications bell so you get alerted every time a new episode's gonna be dropping, and you'll be able to get that. So, okay, getting better with age. Seriously, you need to concentrate with maximum focus and energy and effort to really get and go for what you want to achieve. A lot of times we just get so busy and distracted, and we get indecisive, and we make up excuses. And so I'll admit this hit me really hard this week when I was reflecting back on the past 14 years. And actually, I can even go back 17 years when I started my journey. Yesterday was my 17th year anniversary when I decided to actually start on getting healthy and fit. But I saw this quote by Elbert Hubbard, I believe. It was in a book I was reading, a workbook I was reading. And he says, life is a checkerboard, and the player opposite you is time. If you hesitate before moving or neglect to move properly, your pieces will be wiped off the board by time. You're playing against a partner who will not tolerate indecision. I thought that was pretty amazing because it got me thinking about all the excuses, the alibis, the reasons we give ourselves when it comes to health, fitness, and it can really apply to just about anything we want to achieve, right? And we come up with some really super clever things that we whether it's an excuse or a reason or a justification, we create them so cleverly, and we try to back them up with facts to make them true in our minds, right? And then we can explain away our lack of moving forward toward our goals. I've lived that. Here's some great alibis. If I only had more time, if only I were younger, if only I had the motivation, if only I had the money, if only I was in better health, if only times were better, if only I could just get started, if only I had support, if only I wouldn't have waited so long, if only I were sure of myself, if only I weren't afraid of failing. We make it a habit to use these alibis, like the ones I've said, and you probably thought of a couple others. But different habits can be formed, especially when we decide. That's the thing. Indecision's what time's going to do. So if we decide to call ourselves out and stop using the excuses, it really does all starts with deciding, and then committing to your decision and then taking action. And you can't give it a half-hearted attempt either. too many people out there, they think that they're going to stick with their actions, stick with whatever it is, if they just if I just do kind of something, but it really doesn't work that way. You have to be disciplined. You really have. You have to take yourself serious. Step up into whatever it is that you're wanting to do. And so that's where I had caught myself for years and years and years, was I wasn't really, I said it was serious, but just telling yourself these things, or even just telling yourself that, oh my gosh, I can't be disciplined. If you can't be motivated, at least be disciplined. But if you tell yourself, oh, I'll never stick with anything, I can't be disciplined, you really, really, really need to get real with yourself and question that limiting belief. And that's what I did for myself, was I can commit to something. Really, there's nothing in my way except for me telling myself I can't. Because, seriously, it's limiting you. You can be, do, and have anything. The difference is saying you want to do something and actually doing it. They're a couple different things, right? But along the way, time keeps ticking on. It keeps ticking for all of us. We end up going through different seasons of life. We experience physical changes, and those things can't necessarily be reversed, but I think they can be manipulated in a way. Because, and you may have heard this before, it's not the years in your life that count, but it's the life in your years. And so when you get real and really call yourself out and say, you know what, I've got to stop this little chitter chatter of these things that I keep telling myself why I can't. If only this, if only that, and just turn it around and say, I'm going to do it. And exercise can make all the difference to make the most of it count, to help you get better with age. I mean, the benefits. I could sit here and just read them. Besides feeling good, becoming happier, fitter, exercise can improve your heart, improve your gut health, improve your bone density, the muscle mass, the joints that can help you preventing from falling over and falls, and improve your balance and improve your focus and your mental clarity and productivity. And I could have a whole chart here just going, here's all the benefits. Kind of like the commercials always tell you all the side effects of medicines. Why not say exercise, it can do, and tell you all the great things that it can do. And then adding in like nutrient-dense foods, then you're fueling your body so you can be at peak performance and really, really bring in the energy that you're always wanting. So as always, I'm saying at the end of this podcast, it's never too late. It's so true. It's never too late to begin. You can begin at any age. I know people starting in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. I know for me, I was about to turn 40. And for many people, that's a big milestone. Oh my gosh, time has gone by too fast. But I know people, my folks, my parents, they started in their 60s. I have friends who've started in their 60s, 70s, and they're continuing on into their 80s. It's breaking through your stories and limiting beliefs that's telling yourself you can't get started. It's time to really decide to put yourself first, because time is going to be on the other side of that checkerboard. And if you're not deciding and you're coming up with all these alibis and excuses why you can't, time is winning all the time. All the time. All your little checker pieces are going to be gone. And so I know it can be changed. It can be turned around. It may not be the easiest. It'll take work. I'm not going to say it won't do that. But in time, you'll get better. You'll improve. And you'll know and you'll feel all those benefits, or many of them anyway. And just so you know, that's why I do this podcast. I'm here to help. I am helping a group of people right now. You are welcome to join me for my next group. Head over to putyourselffirst.com/bootcamp, and we will meet you where you're at and create a plan to help you no matter what age you're at. And if you want more powerful strategies, just message me over at perrytinsley@gmail.com. I check those all the time, and you can check in. And seriously, these groups are for those people that feel like they always start and stop an exercise plan. They feel guilty and frustrated and eventually ignore their fitness year after year. They're coming up with alibis and the excuses, or they're bummed. They're bummed if, every time they have to go out and buy new clothing, or they're mad because the results never seem to come fast enough because they feel like they don't have any time. Life's getting busier. They're too tired because they're not doing the exercise that can help them. So please join me for my next group, putyourself.com/bootcamp. You can register for that. That's all I have for this week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for helping me celebrate this podcast. Thanks for getting over and sharing this podcast and subscribing and leaving an honest rating review in your podcast app. And if you're over on YouTube, thank you so much for tuning in there. And don't forget, hit the subscribe button, smash the notifications bell so that you get notified each time there's a new show. You absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. And as always, say it with me. As always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.